Okay, this is gonna be my take on every single gun in the game from the server slam, and pretty much what it's gonna be like during release, unless some major changes will happen. I'm actually in love with this game. Like, I feel like a kid again, playing Black Ops 1 for the first time. I'm so excited for the release, and I hope you guys are as well. But starting off with the common guns that you're gonna get, the Rattler, in my opinion, is pretty inconsistent, especially the base version, because it only has 10 bullets. And you pretty much can't do much with that, and the reload takes a long time. Unless you max it to level 4, you can't really use it. And whenever I see it, I just basically salvage this gun for the most part, so I'm gonna put this in B tier for now. The Hairpin is hands down the worst gun I've used, because it doesn't really do damage. It shoots light, and you can't really kill any arcs with it. Or players, you might as well just have any other gun in the game. So it's gonna be a C tier for me. Next up is the Kettle. This gun is very consistent. It's a semi-auto gun, but every shot you take is pretty much very accurate, especially in medium to close range. So like, if you have trouble hitting your shots with automatic weapons, this is the gun to go for. So it's a solid A tier. Next up is the Stitcher. In my opinion, this is a better version than the Kettle. Many people think it's the opposite, but it's a hot take. I think this is one of the best guns in the game, especially one you can start off with. As a level 1 weapon, it's good. If you get the level 1 mag on it as well, you get 25 bullets. This is pretty much gonna be a gun you would always have on you whenever you go for fights, unless you can afford many of the better versions of this. But this has been very consistent for me. Like, I love the Stitcher. It's very good, and if you headshot people with this, you just beam them down very quickly. Many people don't know that, but yeah, this is a solid S tier. The last one is the Ferro. This one goes hand in hand with the Stitcher. I would put it in A tier because the reload animation takes too long, but as a starter combo in solos especially, this would be like your best combos during the start of the release. You don't have to upgrade either of the weapons. They're both good from base. All you need is just ammo and the light mag on the Stitcher, and you're pretty much good to go in solos. One shot with the Ferro and you just finish them off with the Stitcher. Like, this combo is very crazy, but I'd put it in A just because of the reload. In the common tier we have Burletta. I didn't like the Burletta that much. The reason being is that any of the other guns above the Burletta I'd rather have. It's the same with the Rattler. I will just salvage this gun if I can. Unless I don't have a secondary, I would use these, but any of the guns above are just better in my opinion. You can still use it, like, they're still very good guns. If you want consistency, then the Kettle will pretty much do the same as a Burletta and have more ammo. The Anvil is pretty much one of the best secondary guns in the game. Like, this is a gun you would always have on you because it's an arc killer. It basically just destroys most arcs you come across. It's a better version than the Ferro, and it's more consistent, especially if you level this up to level 4. It starts shooting very fast. So this is also an S tier. Throughout the server slam playtest, this was my combo, like a Stitcher and an Anvil. I killed so many squads with this combo. The shotgun is a solid A tier. It's very consistent up close. Like, if you're holding down an elevator, you would have a shotgun on you and no one can contest you because they pretty much die with 2 headshots. So that's why it's like in A tier. It's not something you would always have on you unless you're going for the contested hotspots like the control tower. The Arpeggio is one of the better medium assault rifles in my opinion. This gun is mostly used when it's maxed out at level 4. It bursts very fast and is also one of the more consistent guns, so it's a solid A tier. If you have this on base level, I wouldn't really use it, to be honest. I would only use it if it's level 4. But yeah, it's a very solid A tier once it's maxed out. So in the rare category we have the Venator. The Venator is essentially a medium version of the Anvil that just shoots faster. Like, the TTK on this gun is very quick as well, and it's very consistent from medium range. This gun I would put slightly below the Anvil. It just depends on your playstyle. The thing that's good about this is that you can swap to it very fast. So it would also be a very good secondary gun. If you have a hard time using the Anvil, I'd probably go with a Venator secondary. But the Anvil is just, in my opinion, it just does more damage, and you would finish them off with a Stitcher or any other primary gun. but it's a very solid gun as well, especially if you level it up so it shoots faster. The Renegade is the same concept as the Venator, it just has longer range, but if you have to choose between the two, it's up to you. Personally, I like the playstyle of the Venator more, because I'm more up close. But if you're like taking fights from range, or if you like being up on top of the control tower, this is probably the gun to have. Now, the Osprey is very controversial, because it's the only gun in the game that has a scope on it, and it's basically a sniper rifle, which is very consistent when you shoot it, and you know you're always going to hit your target when you shoot. If it was up to me, I'd rather pick any of the other 3 weapons instead of this one. But if you're playing solos, or you like to camp control tower and just shoot people from afar with a silencer, this is probably the gun for you. But in my opinion, it's overhyped. You don't really need this gun that much, especially in squads. Like, this gun doesn't really see that much play. If this was up to me, I would put it in A, but I can see why many people like it. And it would be slightly above Renegade because of how consistent it is. Now, the last one is the Torrente. This is the only rare weapon I think is an S+ tier. This is probably the best gun in the game that you can have in squads. Like, you beam people down in squad. You would just absolutely demolish them with this gun. Especially if it has attachments, like it's very accurate from close to medium range. So I would definitely put this in S+ tier. If you're playing solos, you don't really need this gun. Like, this would become overkill, especially with the magazine size, so you can just stick to the Stitcher if you want to, or the Arpeggio as well. Yeah, in squads, this is pretty much the best gun you can have. Next up is the Tempest, and this is hands down the best gun in the game. Like, when I picked this gun up, it just stayed consistent from all ranges. It's a very solid gun to have in your primary and secondary, for that matter. It's accurate as well, so like, this gun with attachments would be the best bet. There's nothing else that really competes with this. The Vulcano is pretty much the most consistent gun in close quarters, especially if you're holding down a certain room or elevators and people are pushing into you. You can just third-person peek them. If they run into you one by one, they don't stand a chance. So it's an S+ as well. Although this got nerfed, it's still very good. Now, the Bobcat is very controversial, but I actually think it's not S+. It's basically just a better version of the Stitcher. For this to be good, you would need to have maxed out attachments on it, and it has to be level 4. At that point, there's no real need to use it. You could just go with the Stitcher, in my opinion. You would have the same impact, it just shoots slightly slower than the Bobcat. The issue with the Bobcat is that because you're shooting so many bullets, the durability on it goes down too fast, and it just breaks instantly. There's no real point to use this gun unless you're maxed out towards the end game. This is still gonna be an S tier gun, but you're probably never gonna use it. Now, the Bettina I never got to use, but my friend did, and it's basically a heavy automatic rifle. The shots on it are very strong, but it's also very inconsistent. You would use this from range, but when you shoot, it's basically a Fortnite gun. Like, the RNG on it is very bad, and you would also need some very good attachments on it to make it work. At that point, you're better off just using an Anvil. Like, this has the same effects, it just shoots slower. So that's why I would put it in B tier, to be honest. It's still very insane, you just need way too much, and the accuracy isn't there from range. So yeah, it's gonna be B tier. Lastly, we have the legendary boss weapons. I never got to use these in the Server Slam. I don't know if they existed, I just never did the boss. Judging from what I've seen, like, these take a long time to wind up, and they're not really that great for PvP if you're looking to kill players. So I can't really rank them. I think they are unrealistic to place anywhere, in my opinion. Like, you would only use these against arcs. The Jupiter is actually good if you're getting the jump on someone and the person is standing still, then the Jupiter is very good because it has the highest single fire damage, but you can just use a base Ferro and just go for headshots. Like, it's more reliable than the Jupiter, in my opinion. I don't see them being meant for PvP at all. They take too long to wind up, and you can't third-person peek people with it. During the release, I'm gonna post a lot more videos, and again, my go-to weapons, especially at the start, is pretty much the Stitcher with a light mag, and an Anvil if I can afford it. These two will go hand in hand because Anvil is like an arc killer and Stitcher is like a player killer. You don't really use the Stitcher for arcs, but for players it's insanely good. I've killed a lot of geared people who are using Tempest and Vulcano and Torrente only using a base stitcher with a light mag. It all just comes down to positioning and catching them off guard using third person. Every single gun here is very good. It just depends on your playstyle at the end of the day. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think, and thank you for watching.